What's up, ODST Journal, back again with another video for my Star Trek Sins of a Solar Empire video for the Call to Arms expansion of Armada 3 mod. Now that that tongueful is done, I hope you guys like the new intro video I have. It's from Partners in Crime GFX is the template what it's based off of. I feel that it ends a little bit abruptly, so let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'd really appreciate feedback on that. But kind of leaving off where we left off, it's been a little while since our last video here. It's probably been over 2 weeks since the last one I made. In the last video, we were fighting the Cardassians, or in the Dominion, I should say.
Red
at one of their
alert.
capital planets.
Enemy vessels
it's
engaged.
a 3v3 match. And, we expect them to rebuild, but we seem to do a pretty good amount of damage to, to their infrastructure. Kind of following up on that, we're looking to try and push forward. Yeah, so it's been about 2 weeks since my last video here.
All hands to battle stations.
So, obviously, I kind of know how this ends, but, I don't want to spoil everything from the get-go here. So we'll kind of go and look where we're starting here. So currently we're over
Station complete.
Capital planet I just mentioned. The fleet I have so far, for the most part, is kind of regrouped at the border, preparing for any possible counterattacks that'll come. And we're building up here. I've got a couple of New Orleans classes for any space stations that I might have to deal with. As well as trying to bolster my cruisers and frigates, just so I have a little bit of extra
This is Captain Picard of the USS Enterprise,
if you will.
We await your command.
We're going to use the Ambassador class's special abilities, see what's going on with all these ships going into the system here, see if they're coming for a counterattack or what they're doing. They've got a space station there, a shipyard, and various cruisers and stuff. Well, the fleet's not really anything to worry about versus my fleet. Those space stations, they're a nasty piece of business. They do have a couple of hero units coming in, so their fleet's pretty comparable to what I have right now. It's a tad bit smaller. I think my fleet could take them out just because it consists of more capital ships and stuff than what they have. But
battle stations.
With that space station,
acknowledge Starfleet.
My defeat in that system would be assured, so I need a little bit more firepower before I can try to take it. At the same time here, we're kind of taking a look at some of the ships I called in for reinforcements during this battle using reinforcement capability, I do believe. Can't remember if I have Picard at this point. Yeah, I have Picard, so I used his ability to call those ships in too. At this point, the Dominion currently holds the center section. I've got a second fleet
standing by
to the north of that. As you guys can see, that's consisting primarily of Excelsiors, Akiras, and Mirandas. There isn't any capital ships with that group. There's no hero units or anything. They're mainly a defensive fleet to
all
help
sections
my shipyards
report.
And try and defend the Romulans or Klingons if I need to move a second fleet into position to do that. With my first fleet tied up on the other side. Ideally, I'll need to try and link these two fleets together to push forward. But at this time, that's not really feasible. So what we're going to do is we're going to start working on further research towards
engaged.
Getting our dreadnought. We got pirates moving in to take the enemy capital planet. And so we're going to move our fleet into position
alter
to
course.
Engage
alter
them.
Course. Battle stations.
As I stated in my last
all
video,
hands to battle stations.
We were pushing for the pirates to try and knock out the enemy, but at this point, they're doing more harm than they are good, so we need to start considering, moving into their planet and just wiping out the pirates at this point. They can still present a threat to
all sections report.
To the Dominion Empire, but right now they're
all
doing
sections
more to hurt my allies than they are to help. In fact, despite the fact that the Romulans are wanted, and now I'm putting bounty on the Nausicaan, or not Nausicans, they are the Nausicans on the
Bring
Dominion.
all weapons to bear.
They're still attacking.
Standing by.
There's no reason for it. They're just
Prepare the
I
docking
guess I'm
base.
considered a threat to their
Squadron
AI.
reporting, Captain.
Maybe. Don't really know
Moving the intercept.
what dictates why they attack me, but they are.
All sections report. Standing by.
Right now, I mean, you know, that's ways off here. That's something we're not really in a position to attack them yet either. We need to retake that center area first.
Standing by.
In order to strike them. You know, obviously
Fire when ready.
their fleet in that pirate world is going to be pretty large, especially if it's just precursor to attack on somebody. So ideally, right now,
Research complete.
attack something that would be the most ideal time. Also,
Standing by.
Bomber specifically. Can't remember what it's called, but it's from the. Oh god, I can't remember the names. Okay, it's Valkyrie Squad. It's the Mark II Valkyrie. Yeah, it was right. So yeah, right now I'm trying to build up. You know, obviously, like I said in the last episode, the trick is just keeping forward momentum.
Station complete.
Unfortunately, I haven't had much support of my allies so far. The Klingons finally managed to get out of their space.
Standing
The
by.
Romulans have also fairly steadily been going in and
All
you know,
crews stand
engaging
ready.
or expanding their empire, you know, engaging the enemy fleets.
Awaiting orders.
Engage
But at the
target.
same time, they really haven't done much to support my push forward, I should say. The Klingons really haven't supported either me or the Romulans so far
Standing
due to their
by.
neutral zone conflict that they're having
Altering course.
and couldn't get by.
Warp signatures detected.
Whereas the, you know, as you guys can see
Standing
right here,
by.
you know, we've got the Dominion and they're just pushing in on these light blue planets and getting ready to engage. You know, we've got, you know, Dominion ships on both sides. Right now they're engaging the Maquis. This is interesting too. Don't
Red
know
alert.
what exactly
Enemy
this
vessels
planet. They looked at this
engaged.
planet. We're obviously at Romulan, and they weren't there.
Give the word.
And this isn't a normal Maquis group, if you guys can tell. If you guys haven't really paid attention to the Maquis so far, normally they have their little raiders and their Jaeger-class starships, which are a combination of, you know, the raider ships and Voyager, the Intrepid class. You know, their current battle group, it's got, you know, the Intrepid, like I zoomed in on.
Red
They've got
alert.
Excelsiors,
Enemy vessels engaged.
Centaurs, you know, even a Galaxy class in there. So it's an interesting group. I don't know if it's like a random event,
Awaiting orders.
but
All
with that
crews
being
stand
said,
ready.
they are certainly helping out
Enemy
my
engaged.
my fleet. They're, you know, the Cardassians, you know, Dominion alliances started attacking my planet here. I made kind of a mistake here. I decided that I was going to engage those guys, but I wanted to try and conquer the planets on the way since they had already knocked out my planet. I didn't really expect to be able to get there fast enough, but instead I ended up splitting up my forces, thinking that, you know, doing so I would be okay with the Maquis engaging the Dominion there. It wasn't right, which you guys will see. Yeah, I go through, but I take some losses because of it. As for why I haven't been playing this for 2 weeks, well, as you guys may or may not have known, the newest expansion for Star Trek Online came out, Season 10, or the Iconian War as it's known. Oh, that Klingon ship is so screwed. Yeah, they're all three there. You're just like, oh crap. But yeah, the newest expansion came out, and I've been working on leveling it Delta Recruit as well. I've been trying to grind out to get to the new content. They have a couple new featured episodes. You know, they brought back Tom Paris.
Warp speed.
Is it like Neil McDonough or something like that? I can't remember his real name, but you know, he's in there, and he was always a cool character, I thought. So I really want to play that content, so that's why, part of why I haven't done anything yet, and that's why my last couple videos have been Star Trek Online for the most part. Then I just kind of been playing, Emergency 4 and Emergency 5.
All sections
working on
report.
videos for that. Alright, so we got my, my secondary fleet. They're lining up. They're preparing for a possible attack from these Orion pirates that are pushing through. Yeah, just in case they don't go where they're supposed to, which would be to take that bounty on the
All crew stand ready.
blue Dominion guy.
Bring engines to full.
All hands to battle stations.
Um,
Bring all weapons to
the
bear.
planet that we're looking at right now, it's not much in the way of defense. They've got a couple of outposts for research purposes, and some freighters coming in and out, but there's really not much there. Like I said, I divided my fleet in half. Most of my fleet's firepower
All sections on standby.
Still by that capital planet. I've got, my 2 galaxy classes. I got my Sovereign, my, Norways and Steamrunners and all that stuff. That's still up there.
All sections report.
I've sent a group of Steamrunners,
Yes.
a couple Norways, Voyager, and
Adjusting coordinates.
My Nebula's down there. I also think I sent down my ambassador to help attack and recolonize the planet, but I'm not sure about that. Voyager popping out holographic fleet to distract the enemy. They don't do any damage like in Star Trek Online, but they can take hits for your fleet. It's kind of nice. It's just a little bit of extra help, just in case.
Awaiting orders.
Upgrade my ship here. The thing is, like I said, we have to keep our momentum, so I have to keep constantly trying to capture planets. But right now I have all 3 AI pushing on me with no support from teammates. And so it's making me basically turn into, an offensive attacker to a defensive, mode. And the problem with that being is, obviously, if I'm trying to sit there and defend, I don't know why I said it like that, but, if I'm sitting there trying to defend, my bases,
Give the
and
word.
I'm not out there attacking them, that's giving
Ready
them the
weapons?
opportunity to build up on their back planets while I'm trying to support all my frontline planets. And, wasting all my ships and resources on defending those areas. I mean, as you guys can see, I got a big Klingon fleet here sitting there in the center, thankfully guarding that planet. But if they were to push forward in the center, I could then send my fleet that I have in that northern base, down into the center too, to
Enemy
support them.
engaged.
And we could, use our combined forces to take out all the Dominion there. And
All
do
hands to
significant
battle
damage to their
stations.
fleet.
Red
But
alert.
getting the
Enemy
AI to
vessels
cooperate with you
engaged.
is so much more difficult. If this was a human player, on this difficulty, we wouldn't be having any
Insufficient
issues right now.
platinum.
We'd easily be able to go in there and coordinate our attacks to wipe out the Dominion. No questions asked. And it just doesn't work like that when you have these AI there. Sometimes they'll cooperate with you, sometimes they'll go where you want them to. But usually it just ends up being them blaming you because you're not there to support their fleets when they decide that, they were just going to constantly go in without support or indication, or knowing that you had no way to support them.
Yellow alert. Activated.
Good bet banking on the starbase instead of the outpost this time.
All hands to battle
They're doing
stations.
a lot of damage to it. I mean, shields
Ship
are already
at
gone,
full
but,
readiness.
That's entire fleet in there. That's a lot of ships they have in there right now.
All
Here's
sections
what I was talking about
report.
dividing my fleet. I need to get my
Engage
fleet over there now,
engines.
otherwise they're in prime position to just go through and
Status
just
report.
terrorize all my worlds before I can mount a defense.
All
They
hands
would
to
cripple
battle
my
stations.
resources, and I can't allow that to happen.
All
Thankfully,
sections
I
report.
do have that space station, and that is
Ship
going to
at
slow
full
them
readiness.
down significantly with the amount of defense
All
and firepower
sections
it has.
report.
It's going to take out some stuff
Squadron
with it.
reporting, Captain. Moving to intercept.
But at the same time, like I said, it's a
Moving
big
to
fleet.
intercept.
You can't hold out against all of them.
Warp signatures detected.
On the other side, my
Give the
fleet's still
word.
just kind of hanging out, doing its own thing up in the northern
Changing
section.
heading.
They're looking to try and attack this ship going through. We got pirates coming because once again, the Romulans are wanted, and I missed that. And yeah. So our starbase is about half health, looks like. I suppose. Like I said, I edit in Windows here, Windows Movie Maker, so it's really blurry when I'm watching this in playback, when I'm doing this audio commentary. So it's really difficult for me to see the fine details. So like
Alert the
numbers
crew.
are really difficult to see.
Bring
like I can
all
see
weapons to bear.
my resources up in the top. I can, more or less tell what I've got going.
Be ready for
that.
anything.
But anything much smaller than that, it becomes really
Enemy
difficult to see. Like I can
engaged.
see. Looks like we have a bounty of 2,525 on the one Dominion
All
fleet,
sections
but I can't
report.
see the numbers in the white. And even on the left,
Give the word.
on the black background of the space.
All
it's hard
hands
for
to
me
battle
tell for sure
stations.
if that's actually the correct number. Nebula and stuff still tearing away at their planet. And
All hands
at this
to
point,
battle
I was kind of
stations.
worried that if I left this
Fire
planet
all
unwatched,
weapons.
they might build something there and attack me, but I should have combined them with my fleet. And
All
pushed forward
sections
on the,
report.
the bulk of their fleet, like I said. That was a mistake. I wanted to try and keep momentum going. Wanted to keep trying to attack their planets, but with the size of that fleet, that was
Engage engines.
something I should have done, because that fleet's capable of doing significant damage. I got lucky here. They turned their fleet back around and went towards the center. When I started moving my fleet in, they realized that if I came up behind them, they would be at a pretty big disadvantage. But I mean,
Engage
looking
engines.
at all the ships warping, you guys can tell that that fleet alone is pretty comparable to the one I have on my, that moving in my attacking fleet. And
All
that's,
sections report.
Before it split up.
All crew stand ready.
So we're moving fleets around and stuff. I really haven't done too much research so far. I
Status.
started researching a couple things,
Ahead.
weapon-wise and
Impulse
stuff, but
power. Bring us
I've
to
been
full
more
impulse.
concerned about fleet production, and with the number of ships and stuff that I'm facing here, with little support from the Klingons, other than the fact that they are defending my planet, which is only a couple jumps away from my capital. It's sort of understandable why I've not been doing a lot of technological upgrades. I did get a couple of capital ships up in the northern section. I have a Prometheus class, which is a starship seen on Voyager, and it's a pretty cool ship. And then the
Flight
Typhon,
decks
which
at
is
the
from
ready.
Star Trek Invasion, a old PlayStation 1 game, and it's one of where the new
Crew
upgraded
standing
fighters
by.
I have are based off of. The Typhon, not exactly a great fighting ship, but it's a carrier, and it's a carrier capital ship, so it carries a
All
lot
sections
of
on
fighters,
standby.
as you guys might imagine. I think
Battle
when it starts
stations.
off, it's comparable to, like a base,
Warp
base
speed.
fighter bay thing that you get for defensive purposes. These ones I just looked at. Have a close look at them here.
Battle stations.
But you can upgrade it, with battle upgrades or training, you can upgrade and get a lot
Moving
more
out.
fighter bays and a lot more fighters.
Red and Gold Wings
And,
rendezvous with
it
us
doesn't
at
sound
these
like a big deal.
coordinates.
Fighters, aren't obviously as damaging as a starship, but they're harder to hit. You can constantly replenish them, and they can do damage. They're good for attacking structures,
Ship
and
at full readiness.
smaller ships and stuff too. Especially, where I don't have any Centaurs researched,
Awaiting orders.
which are anti-fighter ships. Okay, so this is obviously a bad situation. I'm now surrounded on both sides by,
Steady as she goes. Fire when ready.
the Dominion forces. Luckily, this group behind me is a lot smaller.
Standing by.
If I was Klingons, that would probably be the end of me right there. Luckily the fire ration's a very 360 degree,
Standing by.
fighting type of style. The Klingons are very
Change heading.
forward weapon
Battle
heavy.
stations.
It's a lot of shoot in front of you and destroy that instantly, but
Prepare to engage
anything
the
behind
enemy.
you is gonna just wipe you out. They're not big beefy ships. The fire ration's more balanced.
Battle stations.
But
Alert
as
the
you
crew.
guys can see, these Dominion forces
Bring
are pushing
all
in there, and
weapons
they're
to
taking
bear.
a lot of fire from them. They got a capital ship there right in the midst of my ships. Look, they got the two galaxies and
Fire
a
all weapons.
Sovereign in there, but I'm
Standing
down
by.
the Ambassador, Voyager, and my Nebulas. And that's just my capital ships. That's not including 5-6 steam runners and a few Norways.
Battle stations.
Actually, Norways aren't really a huge loss. They're planetary attack ships. They're bombardment.
Be ready
is
for
what they
anything.
Specialize in, so it's not a big
Engines
deal,
to
I guess,
full.
to not have them.
Go ahead. What's on your mind?
Voyager once again dropping its holographic fleet, despite the fact that there's no need to.
All sections report.
So looking
Ahead.
forward to
Impulse
what I
power.
would like to do is I would like to be able to start spreading out further on the left. Like I said, originally I wanted to go up to the right, support the Romulans and the Klingons, push up that way.
All hands to battle
swing
stations.
back around and take the guys closer to me. But the
Warp signatures
Dominion have
detected.
forced my hand. Their combined attacks from all three of their factions on me have
Alert the crew.
basically forced me to throw all my
Alert
fleets
the crew.
in there and say,
Set
well,
a course.
that's not an option anymore. We're going to use the ability to call for reinforcements here. We've got Springfield class, which is,
Red alert. Enemy vessels
basically
engaged.
like a New Orleans again. I got some Excelsiors, Challenger, Cheyenne class, unfortunately. Some other ships, it's a pretty decent fighting fleet there. They all came in together, which makes it a little bit easier. Normally they come in two parts of the map,
Alert
not
the
just
crew.
one. They are going to come in and pincer the Cardassians now, so they'll kind of help me out. It looks like I'm gaining the advantage here. The Cardassians are losing ships.
Warp speed.
I guess they can capture
We
ships.
await your
I don't-
command.
I
All
don't know
sections
if that
on
was an
standby.
ability or not that they have, but it looks like they have
Adjust heading.
two of
Helm,
my ships
new
that were
course
just blue.
heading.
They had
Adjusting coordinates.
like a Excelsior there, but they're
Divert
gone now,
power
so
to
that's-
weapons. All hands to battle stations. Alert the crew.
Research complete.
Shapeshifters to like control the ship.
All sections report.
Battle damage ships, unfortunately, something you really don't want to see.
Divert power to weapons.
Now we're trying to win at
Bring
least.
all weapons to bear.
Red alert. Enemy vessels engaged. Enemy engaged.
There's already a debris field forming from this fight here.
All sections report. Alert the crew.
And like I said, I believe that's based on Star Trek Armada. At least that's the
Warp
first time I've
signatures
ever seen that
detected.
ship design. I know it looks very much like a ship you'd expect to see in TOS.
Stand by.
TOS, TNG.
Battle stations.
Wrong decade. About 30 some
All
years
hands to
TC.
battle stations.
Red alert. Enemy vessels engaged.
Finally turned the tides in.
Stand by on phasers. Prepare to return fire.
Cardassian ships from this very rapidly. Thankfully, that's
Give the word.
the ships that I had to deal with here. Which means that
Enemy vessels detected.
now the big cruisers and stuff are doing it. Nice thing, of course, I've got my primary station here that's being moved on.
All sections on standby.
There's a second fleet in here still. There's still the other faction in there.
Fire, full burst.
A couple of my ships have upgrades.
Give the
or
word.
whatever.
Standing by.
Ship that is. That's my galaxies right there, it looks like. It's hard to tell, even if this is it's such a low resolution, but it looks like my galaxies both have upgrades.
Bring all
so it's
weapons to
pretty
bear.
sovereign.
All
I
sections
would start to
report.
take a couple losses there, a couple ships just got destroyed.
Standing by.
Like I said, it's a pretty sizable debris field. Even from up here, you can see a lot of my ships in there. There's Challengers, Kiras, Excelsiors. So as cool as the damage and all this, that's not something you really want to see. Since approaching the equator.
Give the word.
Just a lot of my ships in there. It's a New Orleans class right there.
Adjusting
I
coordinates.
don't know if it's just
Warp signatures detected.
that there's
Fire
more
all
damage
weapons.
models for the Federation ships, or if it's the fact that there
Give the
simply
word.
was just more of my ships that got destroyed
Alert
than
the crew.
Cardassians, but it just
Set a
there's
course.
a lot of my ships in there, a lot more than theirs are. That's tough to it's tough to see, especially going back and being like just how readily I got my butt whooped. And like I said, that was a mistake though on my part.
Standing by.
Speeding up my fleet to try and attack the planet. If I put my full forces in there, it would have been more firepower and would have been destroying stuff more quickly.
Yellow alert activated.
That's you know what they say, hindsight's 20/20 though, and what are you gonna do?
Carrier at the ready,
I
Admiral.
did start building some ships
Ready
on
to
my
cover
home
the
too,
fleet,
just
sir.
in case they managed to push through.
Red and Gold Wings rendezvous with us at these
Station's gone,
coordinates.
we need to retake that sector.
Standing by. Steady as she
Okay,
goes.
my ships here.
Status report.
Calling some more those Dominion ships.
All sections report.
Unfortunately for
Be
them,
ready
I just
for
called in more
anything.
reinforcements, like I said. And,
Engines to full.
the rest of my fleet's regrouping, so despite my losses, they're still gonna have a hard time coming in and doing much damage. I just doubled the size of my fleet basically.
New heading confirmed.
What was left of my fleet.
Warp signatures
I
detected.
think that's the tachyon beam or something. I think that's the shield draining ability. I know
Red
I use it
alert.
on my signed
Enemy
ship in
vessels
Star Trek Armada, and
engaged.
it looks pretty similar to that, so I'm guessing that's what it is.
Fire all weapons.
Like
Divert
tachyon
power
bolts or
to
something.
weapons.
So,
Squadron reporting, Captain.
yeah, I still got a lot of fighters here around this planet now. It's somewhat defended, but as you guys can see, I'm now kind of
Adjusting
in a position where they
coordinates.
keep sending huge fleets from the middle down into that center, and that puts me into a really hard position
Red alert.
because they
Enemy
can come from
vessels
either side of their,
engaged.
where I took that capital planet, and I've kind of
Alter
turned that
course.
into my own forward attack base. I plan to use that to launch further into their territory and build ships
Fire
to
at
get
will.
them to the front lines quicker.
Set a
from there.
course.
Similar to
All
what I did
crews
to the
stand
north.
ready.
Unfortunately, with them
Battle
having
stations.
just the neutral zone cut off and me not being able to build
Get
a
that
station
ship
there,
out of my sector.
that means that I can't really defend that area or
All
kinda
sections
control
on
to some
standby.
extent the flow of their ships that try to come through. I think if I had a space station built there and fleet, not even a big fleet, just a relatively
Warp signatures detected.
decent sized fleet that could stop them, but they're holding it, and that means they can just keep attacking whenever they want.
New
Which
heading
we can't
confirmed.
have, so we're gonna
Engage
push forward here. We're
engines.
gonna start pushing
Be
back
ready for
around,
anything.
try and take
All
out this
wings,
stuff.
return to hangars. Combat landings authorized. Take us to warp.
Like I said, I mean, if you watch this video here, you don't see
All
Klingons
hands to
really doing
battle
much. They have
stations.
this big fleet combined together that's comparable to
Awaiting
mine.
orders.
And I know they have resources throughout the map still, but they're not.
Lieutenant, open a hailing
attack us in
frequency.
Dominion, that is. The Klingons aren't doing anything. They're just sitting there. In fact, while they were sitting up by my planet when they had that huge fleet going by it, I was okay
Unable
with
to
that.
comply.
But that fleet, came down. They started attacking elsewhere, and the Klingons quit defending that planet. They just moved back and
Red
back
alert.
towards their
Enemy
territory to
vessels
do whatever.
engaged.
So they're not pushing. And they're not defending me, so they're doing nothing useful. So I'm basically in this fight alone against 3 guys.
Standing by.
I really haven't had a chance to look at what the Romulans are doing. But going
Red
off
alert.
of,
Enemy vessels
past
engaged.
experience and just watching what they're doing before in this. They're probably just sitting on this capital ship at a time
Acknowledge
to
Starfleet.
attack their smaller planets and then gets annihilated. Because that's what they did with their, oh god, it wasn't the Scimitar, what was it? The Mogai
Enemy
cruiser they had.
engaged.
They tried attacking a planet with it. It was just
All
something
wings,
by
return to
itself.
hangars. Combat landings
They got annihilated.
authorized. Take us to warp.
Alright, so in neutral
Squadron
zone, the
reporting,
neutral zones
Captain.
are controlled there. They have a
Warp
Dreadnought.
signatures detected.
obviously not something that's fun to face either. The Cardassian Dreadnought's massive.
All sections report.
I don't know how big it is comparable to the Scimitar.
All
but
hands to
it's
battle stations.
much bigger than the Federation's Dreadnought.
Acknowledge
Dreadnought's plural, I
Starfleet.
should say. Since there is 2 now.
Initiate new attack pattern.
Yeah, they're in Klingon space with that right now. I didn't even notice that until just watching this game. 'Cause
All
like I said, I
sections
really wasn't paying
report.
too much attention.
All
so
sections report.
given that though, think they might be Klingons in the neutral zone.
Bring
there.
all weapons to bear.
Like I said, the neutral zone, you can't build space stations or outposts. You can build smaller stuff, like, you know, orbital research stations and defensive platforms, like, you know, fighter bays and, you know, phaser turrets and stuff, but
Warp signatures
you can't get
detected.
heavy-duty firepower in there. It's just not allowed to build.
All sections report. Engage engines.
Oh god, I think they're all the way up that one, just at the top edge of my screen, up near the Hiromi cluster.
Red alert. Enemy vessels engaged.
Neutral ships flying in.
Red alert. Enemy vessels engaged.
This is awkward. I forgot about that too. So that planet you plan to push forward, they took it back with, you know, propaganda. They basically used their, oh god, I can't remember what it's called. Basically, you know, their religious stuff, or, you know,
Armed and ready.
Federation's case, diplomatic stuff, to take control of the planet by just, you know, having other planets nearby that change the allegiance of mine. Which puts me into an awkward position, because that's something you can't just go in and be like, okay, you're recaptured
Warp signatures
for a while.
detected.
Now let me keep building stuff. It's something where it's like, okay, the only way to fix that is by destroying their planets nearby, or by having
Red alert.
stronger,
Enemy vessels
you know,
engaged.
allegiance. You know, being capable of taking back the planet that way. So, you know, if you guys have watched, I haven't researched that all. This ship I want to know about. You got these Earth convoys, and I don't know what the point of them is. I don't know if
Acknowledged,
they
Starfleet.
seem to be like random ships that fly around. I'm thinking about it, and with the idea of a convoy, I'm wondering if maybe if you destroy them, you get
Give
like
the word.
resources or something.
All sections report.
But they don't seem to be tied to any
Red
specific
alert.
faction.
Enemy
They'll
vessels engaged.
actually warp around the map, so it's kind of an interesting thing. Like I say, I'm unfamiliar with them, so I don't really know what they do or what their purpose is. Out of credits, I'm totally broke as far as that goes, but I've got a lot of deadly titanium. Titanium. Yeah, I think that's right. You know, gathered up, so I can sell that if I need to build supplies. But as far as credits go, I'm broke.
Warp signatures
Down to 100,
detected.
You know, 50, 200, that range right now. And that's something I blow through, and unfortunately, selling all your resources, that then you end up with nothing if you're not paying attention to that. And
Ship
something you
at
gotta balance
full
out
readiness.
pretty carefully. You know, and try to pay attention to the market prices and sell what's most valuable, obviously. But you know, at the same time,
Standing by.
still trying to push, take out this the enemy here. I got my fleets concentrated.
Engaging
on other
hostile
ships, though, 'cause
targets.
those are the biggest immediate threat. Got lucky. That was good timing, actually. So, with the exception of that part right there where it sinks under it, the Prometheus has the same thing going on that the Galaxy class has going. If you haven't watched Voyager,
Target
the episode
acquired.
Message in a Model, where the
Red
Prometheus
alert.
is from,
Enemy vessels
you might
engaged.
not know it has a multi-vector attack mode or assault mode, where basically it splits up into 3 parts, and then the 3
Warp
parts are
signatures
capable of
detected.
independently attacking the same target, making it harder to hit. Similar to the Galaxy, if it gets destroyed in this mode, at least as far as, you know, Sins is going, you
Alert
don't
the crew.
lose the ship. You just have it come back at half health. Ah, God, I cannot talk
Bring
to
all
Amazon.
weapons to bear.
Red alert. Enemy vessels engaged.
Entirely important all ships. I like the Constellation. Not a big fan of the Cheyenne, but the Constellation, you know, it's obviously an older ship. It doesn't look quite so sleek. It's in time with the era. It looks, you know, like it was built around the same time as the Enterprise A.
Enemy
And,
engaged.
You know, Miranda
Yellow
refit
alert.
stuff, but
Activated.
beyond that, it's not a sleek ship.
We await your command.
Standing by.
You know, and like I said, the Typhon,
Change heading.
not the greatest ship either, per se. It's a good support ship, though. And it's a personal favorite of mine just for the fact that it was part of that PlayStation 1 game. And that was, like, probably the first Star Trek game I owned. You know, I watched Star Trek for a while, you know, as a kid, but like I said, that's a old PS1 game, and I really did PC gaming for a long time, just because, you know, we had like a low-end family computer. I couldn't really handle most computer gaming, at least real computer gaming. So hold a special place in my heart.
Research,
you know, despite
complete.
the fact that's not a very Star Trek
Colonization
game.
was successful.
I guess that's
We
one of the
await your
problems with Star Trek,
command.
so you can't really have a very
All
Star Trek
sections
game.
on standby.
It's not something you can do.
Squadron reporting, Captain. Moving to intercept.
Ambassador and have him attack this, but it doesn't look like he's going to actually attack it, but they can mark it. and
All
they can
crews
follow it,
stand
so I don't
ready.
know what they plan to do.
Adjusting coordinates.
Go in and finish up, cleaning up the rest of this plan. I shouldn't even concentrate on that. They weren't in a position to do anything with it. I should
Standing
just try
by.
pushing forward.
Fire when ready. Standing by.
That was a mistake with my eyes. Unfortunately,
Red alert. Enemy vessels
I
engaged.
can be painfully thorough at times, and if I'd pushed forward now between the time, you know, where the fleets are kind of recovering or regrouping, I would have done a lot more damage than I do.
Adjusting coordinates.
So mistakes were made, obviously. I mean, you know, like I said, I'm having
Red
minimal
alert.
support from
Enemy
my allies, so
vessels
you can see some
engaged.
Romulan ships moving around, but it's mainly freighters. And yeah, despite the Klingons' large fleet,
Insufficient
doing anything
platinum.
they're just kind of hanging back and not being
Unable
very
to
Klingon, you
comply.
know? They're afraid to die, I guess.
Station
There's no
complete.
glory in this combat. It's not a good day to die. You know, research our economic and developmental stuff a little bit more here.
Standing by.
Research complete.
Alright, as for Star Trek Online, I think I want to do something just because I couldn't find
Red
really any
alert.
information
Enemy
on it.
vessels
I want to do a
engaged.
weapon review for the phaser compression rifle, which is a rifle that you see them using Voyager on the TV show. And it's a really awesome weapon, and I tried finding information on it. It was just really
Change
difficult
heading.
to find information regarding it in Star Trek
All
Online.
crews stand ready.
You know, they had information for it outside the game.
Station complete.
But nothing in the, you know, this in regards to in the game. Move my fleet back up. Klingons still shifting ships
Red
around with
alert.
no real
Enemy
purpose.
vessels engaged.
Then there's that big angry mob of ships, which I really just don't want to mess with. And it's looking really intimidating. I've got my fleet here. I'm worried that they'll start pushing, but I gotta take out these pirates here as fast as I can. Ships before they can jump.
Standing by. Alter course.
Obviously, I don't have enough firepower to retake that center, though. You know,
Battle
maybe if I attacked
stations.
with both my fleets
Changing
combined and
heading.
hung back my capital ship and stuff,
Research
the Voyager would
complete.
surely be destroyed. I'd probably lose my ambassador.
Colonization was
Voyager's a
successful.
loss because obviously it can take a lot of hits because of its
Crew standing by.
plating that it gets from Endgame. I can't remember what it's called, but that plating makes it invincible, which is fine, but it only lasts for a
Engage
short period, so
target.
it's good for initial burst, but then after that, you know, Voyager isn't really the greatest ship. It kind of goes from that to fleet support between its sensor buoys and its hollow fleet. The Ambassador,
standing
like I
by.
said, that's a big ship for me.
Bring
because it
engines
not only
to
can
full.
colonize planets, I can see what's
We
going
await
on
your
out there.
command.
So it's almost more a backline ship. I take it in the front lines because I do need that extra firepower, but still, I have to be careful with that. My galaxies, their main thing is combat. You know, despite the fact that in the show it's the Galaxy class, you know, in TNG is the flagship of the Federation. It's meant to be an all-around ship, and here it's pretty much solely a combat ship.
Adjusting
Same goes
coordinates.
for my Sovereign. You know, with Picard, he's not, you know, he's got support stuff, Picard, a little bit more than the regular Sovereign. Well, no, I guess even the regular Sovereign has a lot of stuff, but that's meant for, like, buffing attack and stuff like that, inspiring your fleet.
All sections report.
But specifically, Picard has the ability to call in more fleet reinforcements, so if he gets lost in the middle of battle, that's not good, because then I could lose all my fleet, and I can't do anything to replenish it in mid-battle. If I have Picard, I can call in more, more ships, so if I lose 6
Battle
ships...
stations.
I just click a button with Picard, as long as I get enough money, there's those 6 ships back. You know, whatever. You know, maybe they're not as good as the 6 ships I lost, but that's still 6 ships I wouldn't have had otherwise. And that's something I'm also kind of weary of here. It's, you know, I got my Constellation classes in there, and, you know, they're doing, you know, repairs during battle and stuff with their worker bees, but that's only a limited amount of healing. It's not going to necessarily stop a ship from being destroyed. Yeah, further research. Going to research Cisco just so we have him. As you guys can see, the Dominion's pushing in once again to head towards that neutral zone. And
Station construction is insufficient.
Like I said, it's basically at this point it's turning into a tug of war.
Enemy engaged.
They have a big fleet. You know, with their combined fleet, it's bigger than my fleet. You know, it's me and the Klingons, but we're not working together, and that's meaning that basically it's them pushing in, destroying a bunch of my stuff.
Self-destruct sequence
sending
initiated.
A couple of units out for whatever reason, and then me pushing in with my fleet and saying, well, no, we can't have this.
All hands to battle stations.
So they leave.
Bring
you know,
all
I take my
weapons
losses,
to bear.
so I stop and rebuild.
I will personally be commanding
and then they regroup with the
Divert
second
power
fleet
to
push in
weapons.
while they're rebuilding their ships. You know, I mean, if you look right here too, they've got all these ships coming in. They have 2 hero units that just jumped in, and, you know, probably a couple more capital ships, and I got all these ships right out here that,
Starfleet.
once again, if I was smart, I would send in to assist my ships.
We await your command. Engage target.
But I don't want to risk losing that capital plant, like I said, despite the fact that it's no longer their capital plant. It is still my best bet to jump into their space and, you know, perform, you know, more attacks and stuff. Got Dominion cruiser. Fire.
Yes. Status. Go ahead. What's on your mind? Full power to the engines.
Antimatter, so it can't
Impulse
put
power.
up its
Take us out.
armor. That's fine.
Station
Whether or not I lose
complete.
it. I guess I got lucky I caught that, though. Voyager would have surely been dead there. And I'm trying
Status
to remember
report.
whether or not it does die still.
Research
Clearly, I
complete.
have the advantage here with a much bigger fleet. I still got capital ships, but
Target their
with their
primary
capital
systems.
ships, they're still doing a lot of damage. They're still a threat. They're not going to beat me, but they can hurt me. They can hurt me bad. And like I said, doing these
Go ahead. What's on your mind?
videos is difficult because it's trying to find things to say, because obviously I'm just kind of repeating this, at least in this episode. I'm just repeating the same stuff. It's, like I said, they attack, I attack back, and it's rinse repeat, you know, attack, counterattack, attack,
All
counterattack.
crews stand ready. Helm,
And going
bring
back,
us
it's
about.
hard to watch because I keep watching myself make the same mistakes
Adjusting
in the video and
coordinates.
not realizing it. Where I have these fleets, I have this extra firepower, and if I just regroup, combine my fleets, and pushed on them, then I wouldn't have these issues. You know, I'd call in the Klingons to attack them somewhere else, you know, try to get some, you know, pressure off of me. But instead, what I'm doing is I got fleets defending. You know, I got, you know, my northern fleet defending that planet there, which actually has been, you know, extremely useful in stopping at least pirate attacks and stuff. Really significant.
Alert the crew.
Before they get through that trap. But
Bring
my
all
other
weapons to bear.
Southern where I've got these defensive fleets, and they're not really doing too much. They've just sat there for the most part because they keep pushing their fleets through to attack my fleet. That's why they have been basically slowly getting dwindled away.
Fire all weapons.
I did manage to push some of my ships through down there, though. I've got my Typhon and these class ships down there. Steamers.
All sections report.
Flight decks at the ready.
Cultural revolutionaries.
Self-destruct sequence initiated.
That means my plan was being captured.
Research complete.
Bring all weapons to bear.
I didn't even notice that they're getting attacked, like I said before. Sounds like they're still under attack, though. Still don't have this plan. Still don't have shipyard capabilities, so I can't build anything. I can't keep increasing my, ship's size from up there. But sure as heck gonna try to take it back. I don't know so much about the whole diplomatic stuff. I don't know much about culture, so we're gonna just try to do some stuff and see if we can't retake it. In the meantime,
all sections report.
More of
Set
the
a
fleet
course.
jumping in.
Yes.
And it's a pretty
Ahead.
sizable
Impulse
one. We're gonna
power.
try and push on them.
Research
Unfortunately,
complete.
just can't get there in time before they jumped in to start doing damage to the few ships that were in there. Not something you can avoid, I guess, when you're that far apart. Trying to convince the Klingons to go up there and attack their other fleets so they don't push more units in on
Awaiting
me.
orders.
But
Fire when ready.
like you guys can see, the Klingons just bouncing back and forth between that planet still, like they don't know what they want to do with their fleet. So, like I said, it's been a couple weeks since I recorded this video. It's been like 2 weeks since I actually made the recording.
Station complete.
And now, now I'm just finally recording the audio.
All sections ready.
So I don't know when the next video will come out. I haven't actually even played the next part. I don't have it recorded. I need to delete this video off my hard drive, which I can do once I get it uploaded to YouTube here. Prometheus needs to be upgraded here. We got like same size fleets and they're just taking me out.
Warp signatures detected. Station complete.
Sadly, the fleet I know the best is the Federation fleet. Like I said in the other videos, that's the one I have all my experience with. So, with the exception of the Borg, I don't really know much about these ships that I'm
Red
facing.
alert.
Like, I recognize
Enemy
them,
vessels
or
engaged.
at least some of them. But I don't know how they really fit into the scale of things. So, like, the Cardassian ships, I recognize like a Galor cruiser, and I realize that's probably one of their bigger ships. But compared to like that, I don't know what they have for their smaller ships. I
Enemy
don't know what their
engaged.
equivalent of a Miranda is, what their equivalent of a Centaur is, or their Sabres or whatever. I don't know what their smallest ships are, which are their most powerful ships. I mean, they can have small ships that are more powerful.
Red alert. Enemy
like in Star
vessels
Trek Online,
engaged.
you have your escorts. The escorts are usually smaller ships than the cruisers and stuff, and they don't have necessarily as much health, but they do significantly more damage.
Go ahead. What's on your mind? Stand by on table. Prepare to return fire.
A slight edge in this battle. A Galaxy class is in there kicking butt still. Like I said, I got my Prometheus and Typhon in there. They're helping, so Prometheus is probably helping more than the Typhon.
Prepare to engage the enemy.
So,
Stand by.
I do have an advantage against them, but at the same time, it's not.
Red alert. Armed torpedoes.
It's not
Prepare to launch.
It's not something where my
Station
victory
complete.
is guaranteed at this point. I still have a long battle ahead of me, and even then, I'm still uncertain if I'll even win this without the support of the Klingons and stuff. And there's the Klingons finally attacking the center after I told them to do that how long ago. So the question at this point for me even
Warp signatures
is, will
detected.
I be able to push through with the support of the Klingons, or the even the Romulans if they get something up, and start taking the fight back to the enemy. I mean, this whole episode I've been stagnant. I've been defending the same quarter of the quadrant, or the system, or whatever you want to call it.
Red alert. Enemy vessels engaged.
Wave after wave of Dominion ships. And I mean, looking at the map, I got a lot of planets, but they, in fact, we actually control more of the system than they do, but they still seem to just have insane shipbuilding capabilities, and they seem to be able to just upgrade their ships with no cost to their system, to like any of the resources. They can just upgrade their ships to like tier 6, like their capital ships, and that makes it a lot more difficult. Getting attacked by pirates on that
warp signatures detected.
original, planet I had
All
the starbase
sections
on.
report.
Klingons seem to still have a few ships up there, so they're kind of doing some damage to them. Coming up here close to the end of this.
Colonization was successful.
Hour 7 minutes, so we got about 10 minutes, 20 minutes to go. So we still got some time, actually. It'd be about 10 minutes if we were just at an hour, but we got that extra 7 minutes in there.
Red alert. Enemy vessels engaged.
To be honest, it's just more of the same. So if you guys have any insight into this as to what I should do in this sort of situation to regain that momentum, start pushing back on them and start attacking, I'd love to hear it. I'm thinking if I push around to the planet on the leftmost side of the map here, I can probably start retaking it there.
Give the word.
But like I said, I feel that if I do that, I risk leaving everything else exposed.
All crew stand ready.
Enemy vessels
I
detected.
guess the smart thing to
Engage
do,
target.
thinking about right now, would be to take my ambassador, put it with that small chunk of fleet that's on their former capital planet, scan, see what they've got going on up there, and then push around and start taking those planets, if I can. If their fleets, fleet or defenses are, relatively weak up there, maybe build an additional capital ship to go with them, something that can take the beating and let the ambassador hang back to, capture whatever.
Prepare the docking bays.
They're playing directly north of their former capital. That's got their starbase on it, and like I said already, that can do a lot of damage to my fleet, and I'll need all my fleet up there, at least my attacking fleet up there, to take it out.
All sections report.
Yeah, I don't know.
Research complete.
I mean, just looking
Prepare
at
the
the
docking
Romulans
bays.
seem to have small ships scattered
Standing
all around
by.
throughout their system, but they don't have any big fleets that I can see, at least just looking at the preview thing for each planet.
Warp signatures detected.
Yeah, starbase. Ugly Romulan starbase. Ton of fighters. Did I mention the Romulan starbase is ugly? They got the Scorpions though, so you can't hate them too much. Love the Scorpions.
Red alert. Enemy vessels engaged.
It's attacking me again. Oh yeah, I'm actually wanted.
Squadron
I didn't
reporting,
notice that
Captain.
probably. There, maybe
Moving to intercept.
We'll find out if I go to click and make somebody else wanted. Yeah, they're pushing on me. Now I've got no defense against them.
Give the word.
Yellow alert activated.
Be ready for anything.
Give the word.
What you can expect more of though as far as videos go, like I said, I don't know if I will be able to, well, I guess I can do whatever I want, but I don't know if I will be doing more Sons of Solar Empire videos here for probably another couple weeks. I might not, just depends on what sort of mood I'm in. I'm still, like I said, I'm still trying to grind out in Star Trek Online to get to that extra new content that they just put out for the new season, the new feature episodes. So depending on how fast I'm able to get to that, because I'm trying to get 2 characters there, and they're both really close to it. It's so much longer to, get a character promoted at this point at these high levels that, depending on how long that takes, will probably dictate it. I'm also been playing a lot of Emergency 4 and Emergency 5, like I said earlier in the video, and I've been, more interested in doing videos for that lately. With that being said, I do want to see this through the whole way. We've got a fight started here. We did some damage to the Dominion so far, and I think we can finish them off. It's going to be a tough fight, like I said, but I think we can do it.
Enemy engaged.
It's just, like I said, a matter of when. When I get around to playing it, when we can defeat them. Pirates.
Warp signatures detected.
Awaiting orders. Awaiting orders.
Squadron reporting, Captain.
Moving forward.
Red alert. Enemy vessels engaged.
Start getting ready to attack these ships. Luckily,
Standing
they
by.
did take a ton of damage from my fleet, those front 2 at least. They're going to be pretty quick to dispatch.
Squadron reporting,
We got 1 wing of fighters and then 4 wings of bombers.
Battle stations.
Hopefully we can take them out with a little issue. Forgot about that part. Okay, so they pushed through my my top planet, went to another one. I didn't really expect this planet right here in the center that's under attack, where they just sent all their ships. I didn't really expect anybody to push there for quite some time, at least not pirates. And so they pretty quickly went in here and just annihilated what little defense
Battle stations.
had, because I only had 1 hangar in there, 1 or 2 hangars. So I didn't have any sort of resistance to put up against them. I got a Klingon ship. It's a capital ship, and it's going to help me, but it's not enough to stop
Acknowledge
them.
Starfleet.
Especially with my ships and resources devoted elsewhere.
Warp signatures detected.
A couple of their ships made it through. Once again, another planet can't really do much to protect this. It's got no defenses.
Red alert. Enemy vessels engaged.
This is tough going back and watching this. I know I've said that already, but yeah, dear Lord, it is just absolutely
Station complete.
my fleet's combined.
Awaiting orders.
Though.
Standing by. Alter course.
I don't really know what I was planning on doing here, or what I'd end up doing.
We await your command.
I think I was planning to attack this one.
Alter course.
Which just seems like a horrible idea now. I didn't even bother to see what was there. It's just like, attack up there for no apparent reason. Looking back on it, I don't know what sort of strategic value it presents, other than the fact that it seems to be the most likely route they were going to take from
Crew standing
their plans
by.
to mine. But beyond that, I don't really know.
We await your command. Engage target.
So yeah. Opinions on either strategy or intro video, anything. Greatly appreciated.
Acknowledge, Starfleet.
In fact, begging that somebody do
Give
that.
the word.
Give me some information. Give me some feedback on this stuff here. I'm not the greatest player, and like I said, the intro is
Standing
just
by.
based off of templates for partners and
Alter course.
graphic effects. My girlfriend
Acknowledge
says she likes that
Starfleet.
cuts off really quick. I wasn't personally a huge
Standing
fan
by.
of it, but it's something, like I said, I don't have any experience
Alter
in 3D
course.
modeling. Unfortunately, never got that far in my art stuff, so I don't really know anything about it personally.
Battle
But
stations.
it's something I'm looking at possibly experimenting with and would like to learn more of. Oh, if only that centaur was real, it'd be perfect for taking down those fighters. Oh well, what are you gonna do?
Awaiting orders.
Warp signatures detected.
In other Star Trek news, I've been reading new Star Trek. It's new to me. It's Star Trek Online, The Needs of the Many. I didn't even know that was the thing, but it's Star
Reroute
Trek
all
Online.
auxiliary power to weapons.
Local store.
Red alert. Enemy vessels engaged.
And it's written by, it's written from the perspective, I should say, of Jake Sisko doing interviews.
Enemy
For all these
engaged.
people in regards to the war against the Undine, whatever you want to pronounce it.
Status report.
Be ready for anything. All power to
He's just talking to
weapons.
various people throughout the Federation, Mako, scholars,
All sections on standby.
7-9, just a whole bunch of different people.
Fire, full burst.
And kind of getting their whole perspective on the war and what their thoughts are against the war at the end. And
Bring us into weapons
just,
range.
like a first-hand account details.
Fire, all weapons.
It's kind of an interesting thing. I initially
All
got
hands
that
to
because I
battle
thought
stations.
maybe I'll learn something new about the expanded universe of Star Trek Online. I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but nonetheless,
Warp
it is
signatures
interesting,
detected.
kind of an interesting read.
Squadron reporting, Captain.
Crew standing by.
Self-destruct sequence initiated.
And we're just gonna keep
Adjusting
pushing,
coordinates.
pushing.
Red alert. Enemy vessels engaged.
Once again, probably should listen to Blue Monkey. I don't know if that
All crew stand ready.
Acknowledge, Starfleet.
I guess the problem is that this is easier to do on like Twitch.
Status
all
report.
I have to do is I just have to engage with viewers directly, and I like to do that. Here it's just basically me with my thoughts, watching something I already did once. And
Red alert.
like I said, it's
Enemy
basically doing the same
vessels
actions over and over
engaged.
again, repeating the same thing constantly. For a half-an-hour video, that's not bad, especially my first time playing something. So I can give my thoughts on the graphics, on the different units, and how cool this is, or how much I dislike something. And with this is my 4th video for this, so I can't necessarily do that anymore. I've already done that.
Acknowledge, Starfleet.
So, oh, well, there's that
Awaiting
Cardassian
orders.
ship I don't really recognize, or oh god, my fleet just got raped. But that's about it.
Battle
If I listened
stations.
to Blue Monkey, this would be like a 20-minute video, but as
Standing
you guys
by.
can see, I made no progress in the course of like an hour.
Initiate new attack
Yeah, it's
pattern.
been, like I said, tug-of-war game back and forth. Now imagine this in 5 different episodes of just doing nothing. And imagine how many videos I'd have to make before I potentially beat the Dominion here.
Warp signatures detected.
Klingon's coming to help me.
Squadron reporting, Captain.
Flying around.
Moving to intercept.
So we got about 5 minutes left in the video here. I do think I'm going to cut it off here. Because all I'm going to do for the next 5
Red
minutes will be
alert.
just spout out the
Enemy
same things
vessels
I've done for the
engaged.
past 20 minutes. Just hope you guys enjoy watching my fleet try to push for it in desperate. Oh god, I attacked them and I didn't think about it. Oh, that
Standing
was so
by.
stupid of me. Why would I do
Ship
that?
at full readiness. All power to engines.
That was just
All crew stand ready.
commenting. I don't remember I even did this. Like I said, I recorded this video like 2 weeks ago.
Be
right
ready
after
for
I uploaded
anything.
the last video. Oh.
Target their primary
I wasn't
systems.
expecting that. I have my controls constantly. I did. I guess that makes a
Warp
huge
signatures
difference.
detected.
I know those are good for attacking star bases, but wow.
Fire when ready.
I don't remember that all going down like that.
All sections report.
Well, now you guys know.
Crew
Let's
standing
make a big
by.
difference. Just through and just
Fire at will.
absolutely annihilated a Cardassian starbase. Oh, right, I forgot
Red
about that
alert.
too.
Enemy vessels engaged.
So they're pushing on my planets really hard now. I've just taken out a bunch of pirates.
Status
now they're
report.
attacking me with their fleets. And
All sections report.
Yes.
Fleet down here. And I'm confident I can win against this fleet, but it's the other fleet to the north where there's
Alert the crew.
in that area. Yeah, those guys up there.
Red alert. Enemy vessels engaged.
Okay, well.
Crew standing by.
That would have been important stuff to remember. That's all I'm gonna say.
All sections report.
Again,
All power to engines.
with that stuff in
Engines to full.
with what just happened, me, taking down their starbase and them attacking my plants. Watching the video to the end, let me know what you guys think my next move should be, and how I should proceed from here with whoever's
Give
left
the
of my
word.
fleet after this, because like I said, I don't
Ready
even know
weapons.
this song. It's been so long since the last video.
Status.
And like
Standing
subscribe
by.
to the channel. It does help me out significantly.
Flash decks at the ready.
At some point, like I said.
Self-destruct sequence initiated.
Alright, you guys take it easy. Have a good one.
Acknowledge, Starfleet.
All sections report.
Battle stations. Standing by.
Alert the crew. Engage engines.
Acknowledge, Starfleet. Acknowledge, Starfleet.
We await your command.
Move us in. All wings on standby.
Lieutenant, open a hailing frequency.
Awaiting orders. Give the word.
Warp signatures detected.
Prepare the docking bays. Alert the crew.
Fire when ready. Change heading. Steady as she goes.
Crew standing by.
Red alert. Enemy vessels engaged. Enemy engaged.